What's up, dudes and dudettes of the internet? My name's SCYTHE, and today it is about time that we had another one of these vlog type videos. Now you see what I'm dealing with. This is actually what's behind me when I'm usually having the green screen and stuff. That's why you'll hear, if you listen with headphones, at least I can hear it myself, all of the echoing and stuff like that that's going on. Not to mention the ceiling is like right there. Like I almost can reach up and touch it. So anyway, immediately you're gonna be noticing what's going on with this video. I'm experimenting with 60 frames for my face cam because I want to see whether or not I can get away with having 60 frames with the face cam and the gameplay and stuff like that. Joe ended up mentioning it to me once, and I kind of put it off and thought, like, movies are actually shot in 24 frames, and because of that, well, and then most YouTube videos and stuff like that, you can usually get away with 30 frames, and it's no problem. You don't really notice that much of a difference depending on the type of game that you're actually playing, right? But lately, I mean, you know, Trove, you do notice the difference when it's 60 frames, and you also notice it, especially with like games like Warframe and stuff like that. Minecraft, not so much. It doesn't really matter that much. But the only reason that I'm even saying that in the first place is because I myself personally always thought that 60 frames with people always looked really, really strange to me. And because of that, I kind of put it off. But recently, I mean, I've been doing lots and tons of research behind the scenes to try and kind of get proper settings that are going to end up working for me. Now, that said, like, I've already got all of my settings and everything like that, but I am noticing that actually most top YouTubers don't even bounce up to the whole 2K resolution thing. So I'm going to experiment with some videos. Just you shouldn't know a difference if notice a difference if everything's going swimmingly, where I'm going to have like, I'm gonna record videos at 1080p instead, and I'm just gonna render them out at a higher clip and see whether or not I can get the exact same results that I've been getting on the videos just recently, right? But then also I want to start experimenting with this whole 60 frames thing, because as I'm just sitting here myself, it might look a little bit strange, but I do definitely like the fluidity of it, like, yeah, you know? But the thing about this camera right here, I'm actually using the Canon Rebel T5i. It's more of a picture taking camera. I probably could have gotten away with having like a lower end camera specifically for video, but in all honesty, I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to camera stuff, so I just ended up getting this one, and I'm very happy with the results of it. You know, like, I can mess with the focusing and stuff like that. It doesn't really handle low lighting the best, which is kind of disappointing because I kind of do a lot of my recording at the night time because it's when everybody's out of the house, or, well, everyone's asleep, I guess I should say, right? But hey, it still looks good to me. I very much like the way that this camera works. I very much am happy about my purchase with it, right? So it being more meant for taking pictures and meant for this type of lighting, that's why it looks so clear and good right now. But when recording, like, if I record this video at 1080p, it can only record at 60 frames, so I had to bump this down to 720p so that it could actually record in 60 frames, and I'm really hoping that there's not gonna be that much of a difference when I end up, like, zooming the face cam in a lot, like for jokes and stuff that I do sometimes in the Trove series and junk, you know? But anyway, I don't want to just sit here and ramble on about camera stuff all day. I've been doing a lot of that lately. Just rambling, I mean, not necessarily the camera. So anyway, behind the scenes, everything has been going absolutely fantastic. You know, haven't been able to, like, I guess I'll kind of clue you in on a little bit of my personal life, folks, just because I know we got lots of new faces on the channel and lots of people coming in and out and stuff like that. First of all, I do want to say that our Razorcoms chat channel, which is like where we mic chat with people, is pretty much like our TeamSpeak that I use, right? And there's been lots of new faces showing up in there just on the mic chat, and it's really awesome. Links in the description of almost every video. Probably not this one. That's right. It won't be in this description. Don't be tricked. But yeah, so behind the scenes, just to kind of clue everybody in, because I get this a lot, I have been engaged for a very, very long time already. It's probably been a couple years, and to Scarlett, who actually lives down in America. It's a long distance relationship. We have visited each other, but how would I put it? Like, we would have gotten married a long time ago if we could have actually just been together right away. But unfortunately, the border is at a very sticky situation. Now we're gonna get into some Canadian politics going on here. Canada as itself, like it's been getting, well, not just Canada, everywhere in the world actually, the border has been getting a lot more closed off and a lot more, I guess, protective of like the country's security and stuff like that. So because of that, it's very, very difficult for us to organize a way of getting Scarlett to actually come out here in Canada and be able to live here as a permanent resident and not get kicked out after like 6 months and stuff like that, right? So long story short, without going into too much personal detail, I want to just clue you all in on this stuff, but I'm not gonna be tricked. I'm not gonna be swindled into giving out any more personal information than I have to, because I'm safe and I'm secure in my little igloo. Canada, right? Igloo. Polar bears. We got them. I have one as a pet. Not really. Oh, my eye is so itchy. Get out of here. So yeah, she's actually got this sick killer job right now. Unfortunately, it's working her tired like every day, and we barely get to talk to each other because of it. But the investment is the more important thing, because as Scarlett is actually at that job for like 6 months, I think, or something like that, she actually will be allowed to transfer into Canada. And like they're gonna like hook her up with a work visa and everything like that. She'll be working at the same establishment, like the same company, but there is one here where I live, so she's gonna transfer out here, and either that's gonna take place sometime in October, or most likely we're aiming towards maybe the beginning of next year, because the holidays might make it a bit difficult. But either way, I am extremely excited about that. Like seriously, you have no idea. This, like, I absolutely, like, you have never known anyone who is more in love than I am. And especially behind the scenes, like, you know, the videos and stuff, we have like a good time and everything like that, and I love it. But it's like, before I ended up doing YouTube stuff, I did a lot more musicianing. Like, I'm one of those guys, like, oh, I'll give you my heart, you know? And so I get like so in love with people, you know? And I am just so in love with Scarlett. She's so in love with me, and it's fantastic. Best relationship I've ever been in my entire life. So happy, and it's just gonna be awesome when she gets here too, because I want to like maybe do a couple videos with her or kind of stuff like that, and I don't know, we'll see what happens. But anyways, besides all of that stuff, let's talk about some of the series that's going on, peeps. So Trove has been doing fantastically wonderful. If I do say, I've been very much enjoying myself with Trove and how I've been approaching the series. Like you've noticed in some of the more recent episodes, I finally started to find my niche for for Trove, I guess I'll say, where I'm just starting to put a little bit more time into editing, which I myself am just having a blast with. Like, I'm just laughing my head off while I'm editing the videos and doing these jokes in them, and I really, really hope that everybody else is enjoying them as well. And then besides that, I've also been having a blast with the thumbnails. I find them to be like, just as you've seen them, just for myself personally, like I like those thumbnails a lot. And also because I'm kind of established now as the YouTube Trove guy, right? I can get away with, I'm noticing, where I have like a Trove image or something like that, and I can have it, I don't even have to technically have Trove on the thumbnail anymore, like the game title, because I've just got so much Trove. It's just kind of what people expect, and they're already gonna find it anyway. Now, I can't necessarily do that with other series because I'm not necessarily established with them yet. Warframe is one of them, where I still kind of do it from time to time, but I have to take a very safe approach towards the thumbnails that I do with Warframe. Not to mention, I don't have all of the options that I do, like I have with Trove, where I have like a green screen in game and everything like that, and that's where I actually get like I chroma key out the green screen in with in-game screenshots that I take, and you can just fly up to Bowser the Sky Whale in Team Pixel, and you go inside the old hot dog base just right at the bottom there, and you'll see I have a blue and a green screen set up, and they're actually really handy. If any of you actually record Trove videos, go ahead and use that. It's fantastic for getting thumbnail shots of like a specific character or an ally or something, because you can just edit out the green background if you know anything about chroma keying, and then you can just kind of inflate the picture and get like really good looking pictures of characters very easily without having to cut out every single pixel around the character, right? So yeah, anyway, more exciting news about Trove that's been going on. If you haven't seen it already, there actually is hints and talks and even a screenshot of the new dinosaur class that's coming to Trove. Not gonna be coming with Mantle of Power. I really don't think so. I think what they're focusing on right now is trying to get Mantle of Power to come out maybe halfway through next month. Potentially next month, I think would be the latest that they would have it out. But here's hoping, you know, fingers crossed. And I don't think them adding a new character to the roster would end up being a smart decision because of the amount of extra time and work that's going to be put into it. Because that's the thing too, is you got to think, now that they're adding the gem system to Trove, where you're gonna have like a unique ability, it means that any classes from this point onward are going to have gem abilities. And because of that, I think personally that now that like with all the older classes and stuff like that, you can kind of get this feeling of like they're really trying hard to try and find out and come up with a concept and an idea that will work with the older classes that are already established and in the game, and see if the gems work. And as I'm sure most of you have seen, some of the gems suck. Honestly, they're not worth investing in. Like the Tomb Raiders one is terrible. The Revenant one, as far as I can tell, does not seem that good. Maybe it is just for normal dungeon grinding, but not Shadow Tower or anywhere that you actually need to aggro enemies. But some of them are a little bit more powerful, like the Chloromancer one. Even though it's a random chance that it spawns a little turret, like a Gatling gun plant, it does mean that there is still just that random chance on top of your normal attacks. So technically it's better, even though it's not necessarily as good as another one like the Boomeranger, which has a guaranteed chance of spawning chickens with his bomb, which is gonna make them the strongest in the game. Anyways, the only reason I'm even saying all of that is because this new dinosaur class is going to be developed with the gem in mind, meaning that he should probably be a bit more balanced with the gem, and maybe even have like a very special ability that they kind of don't really need to rush with him. But they have talked about making a new dinosaur biome to go with that class, which for those that are new to Trove and you don't know, up until the Candy Barbarian, every single class in the game actually had their own unique biome come out when the class came out, and they kind of stopped after the Candy Barbarian. Not like seriously. So it would be really cool to see a new biome generation actually show up. Still very excited about Mantle of Power, but that dinosaur, man, like seriously, there's something about him. Like I thought the Chloromancer looked like so tight, and it's such like a cool looking class that I wanted to make it my main. Now that said, melee combat in Trove is definitely the way to go, just if you want to actually have like easy play style and also being extremely strong, because the range combat honestly doesn't work very well in Trove. And even with the Chloromancer, I never cared for the Chloromancer's abilities. I'm more so just cared about the style, and this dinosaur class has even more style than the Chloromancer. Not to mention, I keep calling it the Draconis 2.0 because he's pretty much like the melee combat style of the Draconis, like Dracolite guy, right? So I just think that's like so cool. I absolutely love the character, and I've got a lot of things planned for when that character comes out that I'm going to introduce with the story. Also, all the evil Jub stuff that's been going on, I am planning to kind of establish, or not establish, like talk a little bit more in detail about what's actually going on in the story of my unofficial story of Trove, I guess I should say, like the lore. And right now, I'm still kind of cooking it in the boiler until Mantle of Power comes out, and then it's kind of like gonna be like cat's out of the bag. Here's what's been going on the whole time, right? Kind of another another type of plot element, and I've got another one already that I'm working on with the dinosaur character. However, I don't know if that's going to show up in story mode for a very long time, because in all honesty, after I made the office map, I have not been in the mood for building at all. Now, another thing too, before we talk about Warframe, is Minecraft, Windcraft more specifically. I've been having a blast with that game, I really have, but now I am starting to get to the late game where it is an extremely hard grind. Not to mention, one aspect of the game that I've never really liked is the level difference makes it so that most of us can't actually play together, and that's something that I don't really like. Not to mention, it's just very hard to actually find other players, and you can just lose track of them like nothing, and it's just, either way, I'm just going to say that I am still continuing the Windcraft series for a little bit longer, and if everybody still really wants me to play it, then of course I will. But in all honesty, I'm thinking that I'm gonna end up doing a couple special videos of Hypixel, the Hypixel server, just because it's kind of mini game stuff, and I think we could have a lot of fun with that. And then, oh, water went down the wrong tube, excuse me. And then I'm also kind of looking into a different type of server that would maybe be a little bit more accessible for all of us to actually play together, and maybe do a little bit more survival aspect of Minecraft rather than, well, survival crossed with adventuring, you know? I mean, I would love to get into all the redstone and all of that stuff, because I love making like trapdoors and secrets and everything like that, but I have no intentions of starting a single player Minecraft world unless I had like a huge mod pack that was something that everybody would actually be into. But Minecraft is still not really like, that's not the main thing on the channel, and I don't really care to make it the main thing, because I love Minecraft, but I like Trove more. So I just wanted to clue everybody in on that. As for Warframe, I'm so surprised and so grateful that it's been going so well. I'm very happy that all of you have been so into the series, and like, your support means everything to me, especially when it's a game like that that is more adult oriented with its content. Like, it's kind of a M-rated game, I guess I would say, and I've played those on the channel before quite a bit, and they never really go too well, you know? Like, I end up getting the older audience that ends up watching it, but the majority of you are the younger audience, and that's kind of what I cater my content to, right? So needless to say, I am extremely excited and very happy that everybody has been so into Warframe, because I have actually been having a blast with that game. It is so tight. It's gotten so much tighter than it did way back when I first started playing it. Like, seriously, I'm actually playing that game off camera a lot with a lot of random people and stuff, and it's just, it's awesome, you know? So, I think that's pretty much it. I just wanted to discuss a couple of those real life things, and then kind of talk about the series and everything. There's not really anything else to say, because I will, like, I guess this is as good a video to talk about as any, but all of the other series that I didn't mention are all cut from the channel. They are still kind of going up on the channel just because I have a couple more episodes kind of stockpiled, but the fact of the matter is that people just lost interest in those series, and thus I lost interest in those games. Well, it was kind of a combination of both. Like, everybody kind of started losing interest. Like, Firefall is a good example where people kind of lost interest after the first few episodes, and then even I myself, it's like, that game is so tight at the beginning, but it's extremely front-loaded, meaning that they have a huge chunk of very entertaining, very quick, very gratifying content at the beginning of the game, so that it hooks players into playing it, and then once you get into the normal world grind, it's kind of like, I don't know, it just kind of gets old fast, you know? Plus the weapons don't really swap that much until you get later in the game, and lots of people have also been saying that that game's dead. Are you really gonna be playing it for that long? And it's like, I guess not, you know? So either way, it was a very fun time playing it. I wish I could have played with everybody, but for right now, I'm actually focusing my attentions on Trove, Warframe, and Minecraft in some way, shape, or form. Also, just a little fun fact here, just something I thought of behind the scenes. If everybody's interested in Warframe, I really hope everyone's gonna be interested in Doom 4 when that game comes out. I think it comes out in May, because I'm actually a huge Doom fan. Like, I played Doom 2 like you wouldn't believe, you know, like LAN parties. You remember what those used to be? For all of the kids that don't know, LAN parties is when you would actually bring your huge clunker of a computer over to your friend's house so that you could play locally. that was a thing because the internet didn't really exist properly, right? But yeah, so I played Doom like crazy. I got it on the PC, got it on the consoles. I absolutely love it. It's right up there with the Turok franchise for me, more specifically Turok 2, and that's gonna be a lot of fun when the Turok 2 HD comes out, hopefully sometime later, if not at the end of this year, because the company did say that they were actually working on it, so that's extremely awesome. But anyways, I'm hoping that Warframe can kind of be a transition into Doom 4, because that game, like, if you check it out, man, that game is so beautifully tight, but my goodness gracious, it's another one of those games like Warframe where it's very, like, it's an M-rated game, let's say that. So I hope everyone's gonna be into that, but that one is just gonna be like, I get all giddy just thinking about it because I'm fanboying it up. So I'm definitely gonna start a series of that regardless of what anyone else thinks about it. And then, as I've talked about many, many times before, and I have to mention it again, when No Man's Sky comes out, No Man's Sky, I don't know why I said that weird. When No Man's Sky comes out, I'm definitely gonna start a series of that, and I'm really, really hoping that the game is gonna stay as entertaining as I hope it is, for me to actually have like a very, very long series of it. Because one of the things that kind of worries me about that game, I'm sure everybody's kind of seen it, is as they've started to actually, like, when they showed all the trailers of No Man's Sky, everyone just, you know, their mouth was agape, and everyone was just like so shocked and amazed at what the game like was toting and what it was, you know, flying from planet to planet and stuff like that. But more recently, as people, myself included, have started to see gameplay and the gameplay mechanics, it seems like it could potentially get old very, very fast. Maybe? Just because there is a little bit of combat, there is a little bit of resource gathering, but for some weird reason, if you do either or you step on a plant, for some strange reason, Grand Theft Auto style cops just appear out of nowhere and start trying to take you down. And then if you defend yourself because they're in the wrong for attacking you just because you destroyed a tiny little plant, then you just get more and more and more cops on you and you can't outrun them. And it seems like a very stupid mechanic, but potentially could end up being extremely fun. Potentially, I don't know. Plus space pirates. I want to rob the space pirates, but I'm a little bit worried that the game will send more policemen after you once you try to attack the space pirates. Either way, I'm excited about that game. I've been waiting for that game for such a long time. Graphically, it's absolutely stunning, except for the pop-in when you're flying in on your ship for some weird reason. I hope that that is a console limitation and not something like, I really hope you can change that in the options, because that's just weird looking. I know that everybody says it's got to do with the terrain generating right in front of you, but Minecraft does that too, and it doesn't have to pop in. It pops in the distance, but not like right in front of your eyes. Either way, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for all your support. I just gotta say straight up, you are the best YouTube community I have ever actually seen. You're the best, you're the coolest people I've ever seen. Forget YouTube, you know, like everybody is just so positive, and I've said this many, many times before, where even when I was starting out with YouTube and stuff like that, I expected negativity. I have a thick skin. I'm just that type of guy. Like, I'm very optimistic about everything, and you know, even when people hit me with negativity, it's like, it doesn't really bother me, and that's got nothing to do with YouTube. That's just in general. Like, it's like, you know, I wear eyeliner, I dye my hair, I got nail polish, tattoos and stuff like that, and I got a lot of slack for that growing up, but it never really changed me or never really phased who I was, you know? Not to mention, I guess, the piercings too. I want more tattoos, but that comes eventually, because right now I must save money for Scarlet. But anyway, not to mention how much money I spent on all of this gear. Oh no. But yes, anyways, I digress. I just wanted to say thank you all so much, because seriously, the amount of support and the amount of positivity that I get from every single one of you fine, beautiful people of the internet is absolutely astronomically wonderful, and I'm very sorry that I can't reply to most of you on a personal level anymore. I get lots of people, especially recently, lots of old faces or old usernames have been coming on the channel and saying, Scythe, you've grown so much, what's up, brah? And then they wonder why I don't respond to them, and it's like I wouldn't say I have a photographic memory, but I'm honestly surprised how many of you I actually remember. You know, like there's just this thing about it. It's like, so long as we interact on some type of a small, even just a small little splinter of a level, it's like, you might need to remind me, but I'll still know who you are. You know? But anyways, I really hope that in the years to come and as the channel continues to grow, thanks to all of your help, I really do hope that I still can keep a very personal interaction with all of you. And that's kind of my goal with the whole YouTube thing. It always has been since day one, because I've never understood the distance that most other like content creators have with their fans. And I've never understood that, you know, where it's like they kind of interact with them, but they don't really, and it's something that I don't really understand fully yet. And maybe that will change when the channel ends up growing to a point where I just can't keep track. Kind of like what it's like in Trove, where I barely get to respond to anybody because I just get so many messages all the time, right? And that may end up happening with the YouTube channel one day, and I would be extremely blessed if that did end up happening. But until then, I'm still gonna try my hardest to do everything I can to deliver the highest level of quality in my content that I can give out, and just hope that in some small way I've contributed to you having a better day. Thanks for watching, everybody. Sayonara and stay epic.